Hello. Hello, I'm John McNamara, the Information Architect for IBM MessageSight, and I'm here today with a number of legends from Hursley, and we're here to talk to you about Scenario in Knowledge Center, which uses MessageSight, MQ, and WAS Liberty. But first, let's do a quick run round, see who we've got with us. Guys, can we introduce ourselves? Mick, do you want to start off?
I will. I'm Mick. I work in the WebSphere messaging department here at Hursley. I'm a software engineer. I'm a tester. I test the integration and scalability aspects of MQ, particularly in MQ clusters.
Ben.
Hi there. I'm an architect in the messaging organisation here at IBM. I've got a particular focus on MessageSight and the Internet of Things.
Awesome. Graham.
Hi, I'm Graham. I'm an architect on the WebSphere application server with a focus on OSGI applications and the Liberty repository.
And last but not least, Matt.
So hi, I'm one of the MQ delivery architects with responsibility for things Java, JMS, and our integration and connectivity with the Java EE stack and other things.
Wonderful. So Matt, could you give us a quick introduction into the scenario?
Yeah, sure, John. So as you said, you mentioned several products. No one product works in isolation anymore. A customer needs several things to pull together a business solution. And so we put together these scenarios to show customers, to walk them through how they integrate these products together. So this scenario started with a car manufacturer using MQ to move data from dealers up to headquarters. Then they extended that with a Liberty profile to provide some sort of web-based tooling for various people in the corporation.
That's awesome. So, so we've got our current scenario. It's got MQ. It's got Liberty. What we're trying to do is to expand that out to include MessageSight in order to deal with real-time data from cars. Ben, could you give us a quick introduction into MessageSight and how that fits into the scenario?
Yes, so what we're trying to do in this scenario is we're expanding beyond the traditional enterprise. So rather than just having dealers connecting in, feeding data into headquarters, we want to expand that to get real-time data from cars. Now this opens up a huge world of challenges for the business. You open up large numbers of new clients that have to connect in, and because these are mobile devices that are moving around, there are extra challenges you need to solve. You have to think about the security. These clients are all out on the bad wide world of the internet. You have to think about scale. There could be very large numbers of cars that are connecting in, sending data. And finally, you need to think about the networks that you're using. We've all been in a car and experienced flaky network connectivity. So how do we handle that? And this is where IBM MessageSight comes in. It's a hardware appliance that has been designed from the ground up to act as this gateway for mobile connectivity into your enterprise. So it is designed to solve exactly these sorts of use cases securely, with performance, and with ease.
Awesome. So what are the things that the user needs to keep in mind when they want to practically extend this scenario with MessageSight?
So I think one of the beauties about MessageSight is it's based around a publish-subscribe messaging pattern. And that means it's very easy to augment your current model, which we have already with dealers pushing information into headquarters, and just extend that without interrupting your existing enterprise. So in effect, we've got a new onboard ramp into the enterprise, and that's it. Very, very easy to configure. We have built-in capabilities in MessageSight to integrate with WebSphere MQ out of the box.
Awesome. So we've got the MessageSight portion of that, which we're extending into. In terms of the products that are already in there as part of the scenario, could we explain what those products do and if there is any extra configuration to do, or if it's completely transparent? Can you give us an overview? Mick, can we start with you and MQ?
Sure, John. MQ is an existing product. It's already in the enterprise. It's the glue. It's providing the connectivity between the many components and the many platforms that exist. It supports 80+ platforms, which is very useful. And in particular, it's got a very high performance network capability. To actually tie these things up is basically a question of defining objects which is very, very simple to do. And it will provide the mechanism between MessageSight and Liberty in a very simplistic and very easy to get going way.
Fantastic. And Graham, as far as Liberty is concerned, could you give us an introduction to what Liberty is, and again, if there's any configuration or if it's transparent in terms of setup?
Yeah, sure. So Liberty is a profile of the WebSphere application server. It's extremely small, lightweight. So, for example, it supports the EE web profile in a download that's approximately 50 megabytes. It's extremely flexible, so you can configure the server to only load what your applications need. And then you can package that server up and ship it around. So, for example, if you just want servlets, the resulting package of the server is approximately 17 megabytes, so extremely small. Starts very, very fast, so approximately 2 to 3 seconds, and you've gone from nothing to a running application server. So in this scenario, prior to introducing MessageSight, you've probably got a web application that's being driven through message-driven beams using the JMS MQ resource adapter to get messages from the dealers, and you're processing those probably more in a kind of batch mode. And then when you introduce MessageSight, you're going to be getting the messages coming in or in a more real-time kind of continuous model. So in terms of how it affects the overall architecture, initially there'd be very little change. You might need to do something a little bit different in terms of the formats. Maybe the information's coming in differently from the cars rather than the dealers. But then longer term, you might want to actually expand out what the web application is providing to its users. So because you're getting real-time information coming in from the cars, you probably want to give real-time responses to your users and let those react in real time. So you might want to start using some of the new capabilities that are coming along in the application server, such as WebSockets, which are currently available in beta form. Maybe you then want to add new interaction patterns, so be able to set up interactions between yourself and the dealers, or maybe between the dealers and the owners of the cars, and you can use something like WebRTC, which again is another new feature that's coming along or is actually available now in the beta.
Awesome. So it sounds fairly straightforward. What we'll do is we'll put the links to the scenario in Knowledge Center on the notes for Hangout, and we'll post that onto the NQDev blog and the messaging blog. So folks, thank you so very much for joining us. I hope it's been worthwhile watching, and speak to you all soon. Thanks now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.